Hello everyone, I am GW22's, and welcome to my next collection video where, as I mentioned in the Resource Jetpack Crash review, that we're going to be looking at my GameCube collection, which is my favorite system of all time. I've loved the GameCube since I got it for Christmas in 2003. I still have my original GameCube. I'll probably show it off in another video. I might show off like all my consoles. But the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to have this be a two-part collection video because my GameCube collection is so big. I have like 50 games, so it's big and it's still growing. I'm still getting more games. And I also have some games on the Dolphin emulator, but I'm not going to count those because those aren't physical copies. Those are it's mainly just the games that I wanted that I don't have physically, and I may not get physically because, as you guys know, prices for especially GameCube games have skyrocketed nowadays. I think it's because of COVID, but yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, because it's just ridiculous how expensive GameCube games are. Actually, let me put this down so I have not as much space. Actually, let me see. I should have done this ahead of time, but there we go. That's better. So without further ado, let's get started. This is going to be a long collection video. Like I said, I have a lot of games, so let's get started. I'm gonna try not to talk too much about each of them because there's a lot. I need to keep it moving. All right, so I have two stacks here. I'm not sure where to start first. So I guess I'm gonna try to keep track of like which game is like which number, so I know like when to cut the video and then start the second part. But all right, I guess we'll start with this stack. All right, so first up we got PacMan World 2, and thankfully you guys can see these okay. On my camera it looks like it's mirrored, but like I think when you actually go to watch the video, I mean, we obviously are watching the video now because it's obviously I already uploaded it, but at the time that I'm recording this, the games look mirrored. Actually, let me see. It's weird. It's like, it's just, I don't know what the deal is, but, so we got PacMan World 2. This was one of the first games I got for my GameCube. I remember I got this at Toys R Us back in 2004, and this is a pretty good game. It's the sequel to the original PacMan World, which I showed off in my PS1 collection. This is definitely the better of the two games, and it's a lot of fun. I don't play this one as much as I should because it's a really good game. I've never beaten it, but I think I'm currently. It's been a while since I played it, so I think I'm in the water levels, because let me tell you, beating Clyde at the end of the volcano world was a pain in the ass. He's such a hard boss, and he's the hardest boss of the entire game. So if you guys decide to play this, just to let you know, when you get to that part, be prepared for some rage and frustration. Yeah, PacMan World 2, it's a really good game. I think there was a player's choice version for this, but if you can get your hands on it, definitely give it a try. It's such a great game. It's so good. All right, so I'm going to try not to dawdle on these games because I have a lot to talk about. All right, next up we have Donkey Konga. This game I got recently. I got this at a thrift store, and unfortunately, I can't play it properly because I don't have the bongos for it, but I did see the bongos at a used game store a few months ago, and I didn't get them because I think they're like $50, which is actually not that bad. I'm not sure how much they're going for on eBay, but I guess $50 is probably not that bad. I could have grabbed them, but I didn't feel like getting them at the time, so. But I do want to get the bongos and play this game properly eventually. I've heard good things about it. Unfortunately, I can't really say a whole lot more about it because I haven't actually played it. But I've heard good things about it, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. Next up, we got we got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and the reason why I smiled the minute I picked up this game is because I've been wanting to play this again for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have the original disc anymore. I used to have the disc, but unfortunately it got lost. Thankfully, I was able to emulate it on Dolphin, so I've been able to play it that way. But unfortunately, it's not very smooth. It's kind of choppy. The frame rate is kind of dips. Like, it's not too bad, but it's just it'd be so much better playing it on actual GameCube or a Wii because you don't have to deal with like. I'm sure the actual game probably has like like some frame rate issues, but um, the Dolphin emulator is not that bad. I think it's only with certain games. Actually, I think it's with every game, but it's not like impossible to tolerate, but it's just kind of annoying. But don't really know what to say about this. I want to say this is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time, but I can't really say that because I honestly have not played a whole lot of this. I originally, actually, I've had this for so long now that I honestly can't remember where I got this from. I think I got this from a friend, like over 10 years ago. So I've had this for quite a long time, and I lost the disc a long time ago, so I wasn't able to play this for the longest time. Um, but I've heard good things about it. The main reason why I really want to play this game again is because it's got freaking Shadow Lugia. Shadow Lugia is on the freaking cover of the game, and Lugia has become my favorite Pokemon as of late, and I'm just obsessed with him. I really want to get like a bunch of like Lugia figures and stuff. But don't really have a whole lot to say, really don't have a whole lot more to say about this. I just know that it's a decent game. All right, we got Mario Party 4. This is the first Mario Party on the GameCube, and I used to not like this one, but as time's gone on, I've learned to enjoy it more, and it's pretty good. It's not as fleshed out as some of the later Mario parties on the GameCube, but this is the last Mario Party that uses items instead of where Mario Party 5 introduced capsules or orbs. But it's still pretty good. I've been told by other people that the boards are kind of simplistic and kind of boring. They're not very creative, but I think the boards are pretty good. I actually got this from GameStop shortly after my 11th birthday, so I've had this for quite a long time. And unfortunately, I was looking to see how much I paid for this, but unfortunately, I couldn't see it because I must have ripped the sticker off, or maybe it just wasn't on there. It probably was on there at one point, but I probably ripped it off or something because I've had this for a long time. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend this. Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkeys. I recently got this, and for the longest time, I didn't know if I wanted this one because I had Jet Fusion for the longest time, and then I found this at a used game store, and I'm like, oh, I'll pick it up. It was $15, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Might be able to see. You probably can't see it, but it's right here. It's very small. But once I saw it was $15 because I had the hardest time finding this for the GameCube because I really wanted it for GameCube, and I've played a little bit of it. I know it's pretty short, but I'm looking forward to playing more of this, and I love Jimmy Neutron. I know that I've been told that this is the best of all the Jimmy Neutron games, and I can believe it because it's really got some potential going for it so far. And yeah, if you're a Nickelodeon fan, you're a fan of Jimmy Neutron, I would say give this a try. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I have not played this game that much. I got this for my 14th birthday, and I popped it in once, and I didn't really care for it. And then I also did a review for this on my old channel, Game Walkthroughs 2, and it was a really bad review. I used to do just these really crappy reviews where I would just like spam reviews. Like I would I would use my old camera and just pointing at the TV screen, and not even I didn't know how to edit back then, so it's really crappy reviews. I barely showed any footage of the game, and it was just really bad. So, but in terms of this game, this is not one of the better Harry Potter games. This is where the series went downhill, in my opinion. I kind of think that started with Prisoner of Azkaban, but Prisoner of Azkaban is still decent. I've not played a whole lot of Prisoner of Azkaban, but I know a lot of people really like that one. I'd say, honestly, I would say don't get this one. You can if you're curious, but otherwise, I would say avoid it. Mario Party 6. This is one of my favorite Mario parties of all time. This introduced the day and night cycle and has some of the most creative boards in the entire Mario Party series. I think this and 5 have some of the most creative boards like ever made in a Mario Party game. I got this for Christmas in 2004, so I've had this for a long time. And unfortunately, you can't see it. Oh, look, my last name, which you might be able to see, but if you can't, then I honestly don't really care. Yeah, you might be able to see my last name on the front of the cover because actually my sister wrote that on there a long time ago. Not sure why. This also had the mic as well. This and Mario Party 7 had the mic. I think the mic is pretty cool. Sometimes it doesn't register your voice. You have to kind of talk slowly and kind of like not shout. But when it does work, it's a lot of fun. Like I was going to say, you probably can't tell, this was actually in a flood because back in 2005, my basement got flooded, and unfortunately, my GameCube was in the flood, and so were two of my GameCube games, and they both happen to be the games I got for Christmas in 2004, including this one and another one, which I'll be showing you guys in a bit. But I'd say highly, highly recommend this. Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Let me tell you guys, I'm pissed off with this game for one reason, because you probably can't see, but I paid $40 for this back in 2009. And nowadays, I see this for like 18 or less. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I pay for it? Why was it so expensive back in 2009? But now, it's just, it's cheap. And I didn't get with the mat either. I had a mat before I got this game that I could use. I don't have the Mario one. I have this one from another Dance Revolution game on the Wii that I use it with. But this is actually, it's cheap, but it's actually a pretty rare game. This is actually hard to find. Maybe at the time why this was so expensive is because this was like really rare. I see this sometimes, but still a lot of times I don't see this one. But like I said, when I do see it, it's usually like less than $20. So I got this at GameStop shortly after my 12th birthday, and I played a lot of this. Me and my friends we always did the versus mode, and I completed the story mode, and I even did it again to unlock all the songs. Actually, do I have all the songs? I think I have most of the songs. But yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I do recommend this. We got Super Monkey Ball 2. I probably should have showed off Monkey Ball 1 first, but I'm just picking up these games randomly. Lots and lots of fun. Highly, highly recommend this. I think it's better than the first one. I know some people have said that the series kind of went downhill and felt repetitive after the first one, but I really loved the second one. This one, I think, is the better of the two because I kind of felt like the first one was a little too challenging. They adjusted the difficulty in this one. And what's really cool is that you guys have probably heard that they're actually remaking the first, second, and deluxe is going to be included like in one package, and that's going to be Banana Mania, which comes out October 5th. I'm really excited for that. I have that pre-order, and I cannot wait to try it because I was very disappointed with Banana Blitz HD. Just didn't feel like the original Banana Blitz on the Wii, and I was very let down by it. So praying to God that Banana Mania is going to be better, and it's looking to be pretty good. So I'm really excited about it. Um, and I got this at GameStop as well, and unfortunately, I can't see how much I paid for it. I think this was like $5 at the time, but it's a lot more than that now. Because, like I said, the GameCube market it's ridiculous now. Prices have skyrocketed like crazy. Next, we got Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of Prisoner of Azkaban, but I did play a little bit of it, and it's not bad. There's times where it's kind of boring, though. You switch between Harry, Ron, and Hermione, which was an interesting idea at the time, but it doesn't. There's not really a need to switch between them. I kind of liked it better when you only played as Harry. I feel like switching between the characters wasn't really necessary, but there are different abilities that each character has. You can also fly Buckbeak in this game, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, I would say that I do recommend this game, even though I don't think it's as good as the first two games, but it's still worth checking out. And I got this at GameStop, and I only paid $5 for this, which you probably can't see, but this was back in 2010 that I got this. Okay, never mind. All right, next we got PacMan World 3, which is not nearly as good as the second one. I remember I was so excited about getting this. I saw the trailers for it back in the day, and I was like, oh man, I got to get my hands on this. And I'm waiting for a new PacMan World. And at the time, I really enjoyed it. I got this for Christmas in 2005. I really enjoyed it, but as I got older, I realized that's not very good. It's pretty mediocre. It's not absolutely terrible like some people say it is, but it's not a worthy successor to the first two games. It's pretty boring. There's a lot of repetitiveness in it. It's just there's times where it's just very tedious and boring. And I actually did get quite far in this, but I haven't beaten it. I don't know if I plan on beating this because it's gonna be hard for me to come back to this because I just remember being so bored with it. But I may give it another try. That's all I gotta say about that. And we got Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, which I have not played a whole lot of this. I remember playing this at a friend's house, and then I decided to get my own copy of it. And I only played a little bit of it because I really did not care for the whole like Quidditch, Quidditch focus of the entire game. I know it allows you to play like your own games of Quidditch, but honestly, I found it kind of boring. I didn't really care for it, and this is the game I got at GameStop, and at the time this was $3.99, so pretty cheap. I don't think this game goes for that much, but I could be wrong. I mean, then again, I'm going to say this again, that the prices for GameCube games have skyrocketed in value, and you guys probably already know about that for any GameCube collectors out there. Yeah, just, I don't know. I didn't think it was very good. Next, we got SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. This was one of the first games I got for my GameCube, and I really enjoyed this. I have never beaten it. I've almost beaten the PS2 version, but there's a spoiler, I had it for PS2. But I've never beaten the GameCube version. I've gotten pretty close to beating it, but I think the furthest I got up to was, I think I had like, I think I don't think I had quite 75 spatulas to enter the final area in the game, but I think I got pretty close to that. I do want to come back to this, and I do eventually want to do a Let's Play on this on Too Mad for Gaming. I might also live stream this in the future, but I'm not sure yet. And also, you guys probably know that this game got a remake, and that's Rehydrated. I didn't think it was as good as the original, but I thought it was a decent attempt at trying to remake it. And I never expected this game to get a remake because this game is kind of underrated. And people compare it a lot to like Mario 64 and like Banjo Kazooie, and they're like 3D collectathon. But It's not that bad. It's considered to be one of the best SpongeBob games, or if not the best SpongeBob game of all time, and it totally deserves that. It totally deserves that nomination. So there's also a player's choice version, and I got this at a used game store. Next up, we got Shadow the Hedgehog, which I honestly didn't really care for this game. I played a little bit of it, and I got bored, and then just put it down. Got this at a used game store, and I got it mainly for my Sonic collection because I'm trying to get as many of the Sonic games as I can. There's still quite a lot I'm missing, but I'm slowly but surely building up my collection. And I eventually plan to do a video for my Sonic games, which I did an update on that for Too Mad for Gaming when I showed my updated collection of my figures and plushes and games on Too Mad for Gaming, but I want to do a video of just my games. So a lot of people hate this game. There's some people that do like it. It's kind of cool to see Shadow, packing heat with guns, and the characters are swearing. I remember the first time I heard Shadow say "damn it," I was laughing pretty hard. But it's another mediocre game. I wouldn't really recommend it. Next, we got Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. This was the other game that got caught in the flood. And thankfully, it survived. As you can see, the cover got kind of messed up, and then also on the back too, you might be able to see that it got messed up. This was the other game I got for Christmas in 2004. I haven't played too much of this. I know this is considered to be like the best game in the series, and I do want to come back to it and give it another try. But I do know that this game is pretty good, and like I said, it's considered to be a lot of people's favorite Paper Mario game, and I'd probably say the same thing since this is the Paper Mario game that I've played the most. I haven't played a whole lot of it, but it's the one that I've touched the most, or I have the most experience with. But I do plan on coming back to it, and I would say give it a try. Then we got Sonic Heroes, which is kind of a like or hate game. I never really liked it that much. I think it's just okay. It gets boring after a while. It's just you kind of do the same thing in each stage. You got your three teams. You got your speed and your flying and power characters. You switch between them to progress through the stages, to get past, barriers, obstacles, but it's just repetitive. You got to beat the game 4 times. You got to beat the game 4 times, once with each character, and you got to get all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds with one team to be able to move on to the final story, which is bullshit. I'll probably tell you that. Shadow the Hedgehog even worse. You got to beat the game 10 fucking times to get the true ending, which is bullshit. That's one of the reasons why I hate that game, and why I don't want to it makes you not want to touch it because of that bullshit. I don't plan on beating it 10 times, but just the fact you got to do that to get the true ending is just bullshit. It's just, it's so stupid. What were they thinking? Beating the game 4 times is not as bad, but it could be better. It just, I don't know. They kind of messed this game up. It's mediocre. It's just, I don't know. Got that from eBay quite a while back. And we got Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. This is really the only Mario Golf game that I've put a good amount of time into. With that said, I've not played this a whole lot, but this is considered to be one of the better Mario Golf games. We recently got Super Rush, and I only played that once, maybe half an hour, and I was done with it because I thought it was boring. I didn't even get to go into the whole Super Rush feature. I know that's the main selling point of that game, but I just didn't care for it. So I may come back to it at some point to try to give it another chance, but as of right now, I don't plan on coming back to it. Like I said, I haven't played a whole lot of this, but I know, because it's golf and it's Mario, it's mixed the two together. It's a Mario sport team. I know a lot of people will want this. I got this at a used game store, and it's not going to tell me how much I paid for it. I think the price tag was on here originally, but I think I ripped it off. Or I took it off. Oh, we got one of my favorites. We got Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Freaking love this game. The HD remake is a whole lot better. And I just say, if you want this game, get the HD remake. Don't get the original. Unless you used to have the original and you want it for nostalgia, but it's just, the sailing is a lot more time consuming in the original. You have the swift sail in the HD remake, and you're able to warp like from island to island a lot quicker. It's just the HD remake is so much better. This one's good, but the HD remake is just a billion times better, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people didn't like the cartoon style of the game, but I absolutely love the graphical style. I just always fallen in love with the cartoony style of it, and it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite Zelda game of all time, and I wish they make more games of it. I do think that the real life graphics of the most recent Zelda games are good as well, but honestly, I really prefer the cartoony style. So, and that I got for my 8th birthday, so I've had that one for a while as well. Then we got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, which I have not played a whole lot of this because honestly, I don't really care that much for racing games unless it's Mario Kart. But I do have a couple racing games, and I've always wanted to give them a better chance, but it's hard because it's hard for me to adjust because I'm always so bad. I'm always like crashing into walls and shit. It's so hard for me to stay on the track. And interestingly enough, I didn't know this. You can actually use a Logitech Force feedback for this game. So actually use an actual steering wheel, which is pretty cool. I'll have to see how that goes. I got this at a thrift store. This was only $2.99, so I got this really cheap. I just picked it up because it's just, I don't know. It was a game I didn't have, and it was cheap, so I figured I couldn't pass it up. But I do like the Need for Speed series. I want to give this a better chance, and hopefully this will be better if I decide to put more time into it. So, and we got the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which this is. I have not played a whole lot of this. I actually just recently started playing more of this, and I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as Battle for Bikini Bottom. I know people say they want a remake of this game, but I honestly don't see that happening. I don't know. I honestly don't see them remaking this game or, like porting it to like, the Switch or the Xbox Series X or PS5 or any of that stuff. But I think it's decent so far. There are times where it can be really challenging, like almost frustratingly challenged. So the difficulty is kind of unbalanced in this game, but I think it provides a good enough challenge. And if you're a big SpongeBob fan, I think you'll enjoy this one. And I also got this at a thrift store for only $1.97, $2. So can't beat that. And then we got Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion, which this was my first real experience with Jimmy Neutron video games. I'm not too far into it, but I do know that it gets more difficult like toward the end of the game because I've seen a review on it and I do see that it can get really frustrating. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know if I'd ever do like a let's play or stream this game, but I think it's good. And I paid $12.99 for this at the time, and I got this also at a used game store. And that's going to do it for the first part. This went on way longer than I thought, but that's why I have to make this 2 parts, or maybe even more than that, depending on how long I talk about the games. I'm trying not to talk about them for too long, but I kind of have like a little more to say about them than I think I do. So stay tuned for part 2. We're going to look at the other half of my collection. Actually, I don't think I even got through half of my collections. I spent too much time talking about some of them, but stay tuned for the next part where I show off the rest of my collection and uh, yeah, just stay tuned for part 2.